ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। समस्तब्रह्मविद्या आचार्येभ्यो नमः। ऋषिभ्यो नमः मुनिभ्यो नमः गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः। श्री वैशंपायन सद्गुरवे नमः। श्री आज्ञवल्क्य सद्गुरवे नमः। श्री आद्यशंकर सद्गुरवे नमः। In our chanting today, we will do Vyahruti Upasanam. That is the 10th Anuvakam. Om भूर्भुवः सुवरिति वा एतास्तिस्रो व्याहृतयः तासामुहस्मैतां चतुर्थीं महाचमस्य प्रवेदयते. Is that we have to do or yes chandasam? Sorry. Correct. ओम भूर्भुवः सुवरिति वा एतास्तिस्रो व्याहृतयः तासामुहस्मैतां चतुर्थीं महाचमस्य प्रवेदयते. मह इति तद्ब्रह्म स आत्मा अङ्गान्यन्या देवताः. भूरिति वा अयं लोकः भुव इत्यन्तरिक्षं सुवरित्यसौ लोकः. मह इत्यादित्यः आदित्येन वाव सर्वे लोका महीयन्ते. भूरिति वा अग्निः भुव इति वायुः सुवरित्यादित्यः. मह इति चन्द्रमाः चन्द्रमसा वाव सर्वाणि ज्योतिर्गंसि महीयन्ते. भूरिति वा रुचः भुव इति सामाने सुवरिति यजोगंसि. मह इति ब्रह्म ब्रह्मणा वाव सर्वे वेदा महीयन्ते. भूरिति वै प्राणः भुव इत्यपानः सुवरिति व्यानः. मह इत्यन्नम् अन्नेन वाव सर्वे प्राणा महीयन्ते. तावा एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्धाः चतस्रश्चतस्रो व्याहृतयः. तायो वेद स वेद ब्रह्म सर्वेऽस्मै देवा बलिमावहन्ति. स य एषोऽन्तरहृदय आकाशः तस्मिन्नयं पुरुषो मनोमयः अमृतो हिरण्मयः. अन्तरेण तालुके य एषस्तन इवावलम्बते. सेन्द्रयोनिः यत्रासौ केशान्तो विवर्तते. व्यपोह्य शीर्षकपाले भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतिष्ठते. भुव इति वायौ सुवरित्यादित्ये. मह इति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वराज्यम् आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं. वाक्पतिश्चक्षुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः. एतत्ततो भवति आकाशशरीरं ब्रह्म सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमृद्धममृतम् इति प्राचीनयोग्योपास्व. पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि. आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यधिभूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणो व्यानोपान उदानः समानः. चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनो वाक्त्वक् चर्ममागस्सग्गस्नावास्ति मज्जा. एतदधिविधाय ऋषिरवोचत. पाङ्क्तं वा इदगं सर्वं पाङ्क्तेनैव पाङ्क्तग्गस्पृणोति ते. ओमिति ब्रह्म ओमितीदगं सर्वं ओमित्येतदनुकृतिः स्म वा अप्योश्रावयेत्याश्रावयन्ते. ओमिति सामानि गायन्ते ओवंशोमिति शस्त्राणि शगंसन्ते ओमित्यध्वर्युः प्रतिघरं प्रतिगृणाते ओमिति ब्रह्मा प्रसौति ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह ब्रह्मोपाप्नवानेते ब्रह्मैवोपाप्नोति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Chant the Shanti mantra and the first three mantras. Om Ata Shri Krishna Yajurvedantargata Taittiriya Shakhantargata Taittiriya Upanishad. Om Ata Siksha Valli Prathamonuvakah Shanti mantra. Om Shanno Mitrah Shamvarunah Shanno Bhavatvaryama शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतो तद्वक्तारमवतो अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. ॐ अदश्री आद्य शङ्कराचार्य कृत मङ्गलाचरणश्लोकत्रयम् ॐ यस्माज्जातं जगत्सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रलीयते येनेदन्धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः. यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं. तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरुचीनां हि व्याख्या इयं सम्प्रणीयते. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. By Guru Kripa, Guru Parampara Kripa, this study of Upanishad series we have started, but because our minds are not like the minds of the students who are totally dedicated for the Brahma Vidya, as well as staying only in the atmosphere of the ashram, doing only those type of activities where everything is neat, everything is clear, everything is pure, everything is Shuddha, everything is Shuddha Sattva Guna. In those atmospheres, the teachers, their entire mind also is of the truth. The disciples, their minds also totally dedicated to that. Then the interaction, transaction becomes so beautiful. But we know what our minds are. And yet, we are trying our best to study the Shastra. There are two ways of living a spiritual life. One is you do the complete purification and achieve the single pointedness of the mind and start doing all sadhanas. That's another in a beautiful way. So I purified, I made it pakka, prepared, empowered, and then with that all Shravana Manana sadhanas are done nicely. But sometimes takes so much of time, we don't know when will we achieve it. Another way is what? In small little doses, whatever the sadhana we can do by the guidance of Guru, we start doing them. All the time keeping in mind that the control of mind also is necessary. Thus, little of sadhana is also done. While doing it itself, some aspect of the purity of the mind is achieved. So, the second aspect I think we are following. Second, third point, Upanishads being so sublime, subtle texts, with these minds of ours, entire thing in one go we cannot grasp or understand. Therefore, it's always the patient, slow and steady application. Then alone, few things at least of the entire magnanimous Upanishad we can grasp. And that's what in fact we are doing from those our efforts starting from the Ishavasya Upanishad some time back. In the sequence of that, now we have come to the Taittiriya Upanishad of the Krishna Yajurveda. the Taittiriya Shakha. In that, yesterday, day before, few days, we also have seen the entire Anubandha Bhashyam exhaustively. The whole purpose of that was to tell us the need, necessity, importance of Upanishad Vidya, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya for the complete mukti. Mukti from the Janma Marana, mukti from the Janma Marana causing karma phala, mukti from the karma phala causing karma, mukti from the karma causing kamana, mukti from the kamana causing avidya. See, only by vidya, atma vidya, the avidya goes away. All the chain of bondages which are otherwise can never be removed will go away. So this goal in the mind has to be kept. Okay, I am studying Upanishad for gaining the Atma Brahma Vidya, theoretical and Anubhava, so that avidya and avidya janita entire samsara or bandhana is removed. Then for this sadhana, because all our faculties have to be individually intact and mutually synergistic, coordinating with each other, and they can happen only by the grace of Adhisthana Devatas, because they are the ones who are managing them. So, in that Shanti Mantra, Shanno Mitraha, we have seriously, sincerely, ardently requested those Devatas to give the Sham, the Sukham, to every of these Karmendriyas, the Jnanendriyas, as well as the Antakarana. So each of the Devata Adhisthana for what? We saw. So Mitra, Varuna, Aryama, then Indra, then Brahaspati, as well as Vishnu, Urukramaha, and all the deities who are mentioned, not mentioned, but maintaining, managing all our individual upadhis staying in this Adi Atmika Deha, and they are the same Devatas who are there also in the Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. So we have prayed to all of them. And the most important of all of them was the Vayu Bhagwan. Because the Karya or Karma and Karma Phala both are in his Adhina. A special importance is given to the Vayu Bhagavan, and he said, you are the Pratyaksha Brahma, you are the Paroksha Brahma, and we are respecting, revering you as the Pratyaksha Brahma. So, while listening all that, while doing all that, is that reverential, respectful attitude in our heart, along with the awareness about the presence of the Parabrahma in the form of the Vayu. Are we experiencing it? That is what is the test for us. That is what is the thing to be done while listening. So, Sarvavyapaka Parabrahma in the form of the Vayu, becoming cause for all our sadhana as well as the phala. Therefore, he is a Pratyaksha Brahma, he is a Varoksha Brahma, and we are praying to him for the removal of the Upasargas when we are pursuing the Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya, Upasarga, removal. Avidya, for the sake of that, we have invoked the Vayu Deva. And why all other Devatas? They are the ones who will make our Vidya Shravana, Dharana and Upayogaha without Pratibandha. So they remove the obstacles of Vidya Shravana Dharana, and the Vayu Bhagavan removes the Upasarga, the obstacles when we are pursuing the Brahma Vidya. Therefore, we have prayed to him. And he is Sarva Kriya, Sarva Phala are in the Adhina of the Vayu Deva. Then, without forgetting, those two most important promises we did, commitments we took, pratigna we did. They look to be simple, but in them only all our seriousness, sincerity, genuineness are proved. One is what? Rutam Vadishyami. Second is what? Satyam Vadishyami. Here Vadishyami, though literally means I speak out, what it means is I express in and through all my existence or presence or life or faculties only these two things. One is Rutam, second is Satyam. In both of them, the thing is Parabrahma only. So in the Ritam is the Parabrahma who is understood Yatha Shastram, about whom there is Kartavyata Buddhi, and about him there is total conviction in the Buddhi. So Yatha Shastram, Yatha Kartavyam Buddhau Suparinishchitam Artham Parabrahma. That is called as Arutam. So I am without any doubt, I have studied Shastra, then I have understood the Brahma Tattva is the goal to be reached for Mukti, and I am taking up this pursuit of Brahmanubhuti as Kartavya. Okay? Effort to achieve Brahmanubhuti as Kartavya, I am Suparinishchitam in Buddhi. So Buddhayo Suparinishchitam. What? Yata Shastram, Yata Kartavyam. About what? Artham. Kim Artham? Chaturtha Purushartham. Kimasti Tat Moksham. Kadava Vishyati Brahmanubhavena. So already it was said earlier that you have to take the help of. Earlier already said. The Atma Vidya, the Brahma Vidya alone is the cause of the Mukti. So in this commitment, one or two, three things are what? First commitment is what? This Brahman alone is the Mukti Hetu, and these are the Brahma Swarupa Lakshanas, and these are the sadhanas, internal, external, gross and subtle we have to do to reach the Brahmanubhuti. All this knowledge, all the information is Yatha Shastra. This is the most important. Not because somebody said, not because we felt like that. No, no. What is the meaning of Veda Shastram? The two things. One, all these are mentioned in the Shastram. That is one meaning of Veda Shastram. Second is what? I am thoroughly studying Shastram and getting convinced. Or till getting convinced, I am keeping on studying Shastram. Or I am studying Shastram only for the purpose of this Rutam called as in the Buddhi, the Suparinishchita about Kartavyata, about the Parabrahma Tattva. This is all as the entire picture about the Rutam. This is the first commitment. Second commitment was with my Vak and Sharirabhyam. Vak Kaya Abhyam. Kaya includes the Sukshma Sharira, obviously. Therefore, the speech, body, and mind wise, whatever I took as Kartavya Buddhi in the pursuit of Atmanubhava, that alone I do. Other than that, contrary to that, how much or it may be tempting or interesting, I will not do. This type of commitment is called as Satyam Vadishya. So Rutam is study Shastra and accept that Brahman is the goal to be reached. And this is the sadhana. Satyam is exactly doing like that, not even an iota here and there. That's called as Satyam Vadishya. And these two pratignas, the Guru Shishya is doing in front of the Guru, in front of the Upanishad Rishis, in front of the Shruti Mata, in front of Parabrahma Tattva. Not for favoring anyone. It is the way, it's the only way by which he is favoring or helping himself. शास्त्र पढ़कर ब्रह्म ही मुक्ति का हेतु जानना किसके लिए है? It is for my own sake. And exactly doing a sadhana as mentioned by Shastra, this is also for whose sake? It is for my own sake. Therefore, Rutam Vadeshyami, Satyam Vadeshyami are the commitments when they are practiced. We are doing maximum benefit for ourselves. Not like a scientist who discovers something with the commitment to serve the world. But no scientific investigation or discovery was only serving the world. Most of them were damaging only because people didn't know how to use them, what were used to them, and they made misuse of them more than the right uses. That is the inherent shortcoming in the outer worldly discoveries. Anyway, that's not our subject. But this particular one is helping me first to liberate. Therefore, Rutam Vadeshyami Satyavadeshyami. Then we saw Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu. May the Lord, me, the disciple, Vidyarthi, he may protect me. Mamavatu. May he do the Raksha. How? Vidya Samyojanena, how exhaustively we explained it yesterday. Ki all efforts we are doing, but heart in heart, our Samyojana with the Vidya, Brahma Vidya, as the goal, as the means, and the love towards that, interest towards that, inspiration towards that, if that is not maintained, with slight outs of the any problems, slightest of any difficulties or temptation, we go away from that Brahma Vidya. Then again, to come back to Brahma Vidya, it takes lot of time, and by that time, so many things are over. When we have added so many vasanas, so many things will happen. Therefore, O Lord, till I reach Brahma Anubhuti, may it take 100 lives, I don't mind. But there should be samyojana of mine with Brahma Vidya in every life, every year of my life, every day of my life. See the glory and greatness and importance of this prayer. The Rishi said, Mam Avatu. But Bhashyakara is giving Bhashya, Mam Vidyarthinam Avatu Vidya Samyojanena. See, in that only, don't we see the sincerity of the student? At the same time, he is not taking himself for granted, and at the same time, he has so much faith in the Lord. That's the meaning of what the meaning of not taking for granted. Just because we are studying Upanishad or at the feet of the Lord or Guru or doing some upasana, doesn't mean that we are heroes of everything. No. What sort of prarabdha will come, what sort of difficulties, obstructions will come, we don't know. Therefore, we can't take ourselves for granted. Therefore, we must ask for the Vidya Samyojanam. I can't say that हाँ मैं हमेशा करता रहूँगा यार कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता. Therefore, don't be over smart and all. Second, the faith in the Devata or the Lord, that please, you are the only one who can bless us to be united with the Vidya. And who is the God here? Pratyaksha Deva called as Vayu. To the Vayu only we are asking. And Vayu, Agni, Varuna, Indra, all of them are, though responsible, powerful Devatas, ultimately they are the pratik of Parabrahma only. Narayana, Ishvara, whatever your Ishta Devata you call. These are all the Vedic Devatas. In the place of them, you can have your own Pauranika Devatas. You can have Parabrahma only directly. You can have Omkara. जो भी आपको मन में है, what is important is that faith in them and our desire for their blessings and our faith in them, and that is expressed as prayer. Then along with this, the last prayer was Avatu Vaktaram. May the speaker, the Acharya, Guru also be protected. How? By Vaktrutva Samarthya Samyojanena. So Vidya Samyojana is Shishya, Vaktrutva Samarthya Samyojana is the Guru. So that the Guru has that capacity at all levels to go on teaching disciples till they understand, till they grasp it. So, in that samarthya of the Guru, his long life, his health, is full of energy, power, and his alertness, awareness. Because as the age grows, even if the Brahma Vidya Guru, his upadhis will become weak, senile. Because upadhi has its own way. है ही नहीं. ऐसे थोड़ी होता है कि ब्रह्मज्ञानी है देर फोर उनके उपाधियां 2000-3000 साल तक रहेंगे. नहीं होता. Their memory also will fade away. Their ability of speaking also becomes weaker. Their mind intellect also loses its capacity after certain time. If somebody is a yogi along with Vedantina who has mastered completely the Maya and Prakriti and has got the habit of using it, उनका केस अलग होता है. So, asking the Guru for the maintenance of all these capacities in him. More importantly, his love for disciples, his interest to teach them, which he has generally. But if the student is indisciplined, not doing homework, irregular and all, Guru may lose interest. He will close all 6 classes one day, suddenly. So that Vaktrutva Samarthya Samyojana includes all this. Then most important is when we are pursuing spiritual path, only this is our goal anyway, convinced. All these three tapa coming from inside, adhyatmika from the people around or the beings, adi bhautika from the natural resources or sources or calamities, adi daivika, those tapas should not trouble us. Therefore, three times Shanti. This we have seen from last few days. Once more summarize so that at least one portion of the Upanishad called Shanti Mantra, we can feel that we are studied thoroughly. There is a satisfaction. Now the Dvitiya Anuvaka started. This Dvitiya Anuvaka is called as Shiksha Adhyaya. In this, just like in general, for any further study or further communication, the means for that communication, the means for that study, called as a language, has to be mastered in all its aspects. In the same way, here in the Gurukula, when the Guru is going to teach the Vedanta, then the language in which that Veda and Vedanta is going to be given by the Guru, should we master it or not in all its aspects? Because the medium of communication between the Guru and Shishya is the speech, and speech is never without the language. Language cannot be without these two aspects of the script as well as speaking, is it not? And the script and speaking, which comprises the language, will have its own rules and regulations in every language. And unless I master the script, unless I master the reading of that script, followed by which alone the script or the language, which has the letters, etc., words, etc., can be added with the meaning, then only the Guru can communicate to disciples and disciples can communicate to Guru. In any child's evolution also, as he comes to the age of 1.5 to 2 years, he starts speaking. Then he will say something which he has heard at home. But slowly he is at home as well as sent to the school, the pre-primary school, primary, in Athadi. Then he is sent to the LKG, UKG. Then there, the whichever the mother tongue or language is there, please teach Sanskrit, teach mother tongue. Then only teach English or whatever the language to the children. So there, as it happens in every school, the child has to start learning from the alphabets. Then the joy in the child when he learns alphabets only. Anybody comes at home, he tries to tell them and many I Sika, ABC Sika. Then that sequence of A, B, C, D, F, after that is being taught, all that is broken. Now the addition or the combination of the letters called as the words are taught to the child. And at that time, the joy is different in the child when the letters are combined and words are formed, and to those words there are some meanings. And they indicate some of the objects, etc. Something or the other. And then correlated thing. Then he is told Nose. Nose. Entire children are made to repeat. After 10 times, then the NOSC are the letters. Together, NOSC nose is a word. Then it is indicating the this particular organ of the body. Then only the communication later on, that the child can tell to teacher or teacher can tell his sir nose is paining, he can say. Otherwise, what is paining, he can't say. Then the Guru also say, तुमने मेरे नाक में दम करके रखा. That is not there in English, but in Hindi. If you understood na ka, na plus a, na ka in Hindi. Is it not? Then the words are combined sentences. And to the sentences, the tenses are added, grammar is added. Then how much of the communication thereafter happens, of the knowledge, of the emotions, of the feelings, about the experiences and about inquiries about the sare, are they not based only on language? Imagine without the language, no communication is possible, especially the Brahma Vidya. Therefore, just because it is said that the Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, though it is ultimate truth, yet never imagine that Brahma Vidya will happen just like that without teacher teaching us and we learning it. And teacher teaches us in a language, we have to learn that language. Therefore, though the goal is Upanishad Vidya, Brahma Vidya, Mukti Vidya, which is little later, what is more important in the beginning is first mastering this means of communication called as language. Bhasha. In that bhasha, the two things are what? The scripture and then ucharana of that. Pronunciation we call. And in that scripture, the entire grammar comes. And that has to be pronounced. Then only you can communicate. सब दिमाग में है लेकिन मैं गूंगा हूँ तो I know all grammar but can't speak. I can speak but I have no language, no grammar. Then like an animal, they don't have language, grammar. हमारे तरह नहीं होता. क्लियर? Therefore शिक्षा अध्याय. नो पहले चांट करो इस मंत्र को. ओम अथ द्वितीयोनुवाकः. ओम शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः. अगेन शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः. First main meaning of the mantra, then the bhashya. Yesterday we touched a lot of portion, I know. So Shiksham Vyakyasyamaha. Oh, my dear disciples, you came to our ashram absolutely raw, but wanting to know even Brahma Vidya. So first I am explaining to you. We are explaining means all our Guru Parampara. We are teaching you first Shiksha, the language and its pronunciation. When we study Bhashya, it is more clear. First, Shiksham Vyakyasyama means we are expounding, we are explaining the Shiksha, the Bhasha Jnanam. Okay. And how much is the Bhasha Jnanam? Only 3 Vakyas and 6 words. This much only Shiksha. हो गया इसमें. In the next 2-3 Anuvakas, the utilization of this Siksha in Upasana. Once with that Upasana when Antakarana become highly qualified, directly then Brahma Vidya. This is how the first Valli Upanishad goes ahead. So the entire thing to be learned about the language are only in these 3 sentences, in these 6 words only. Having said it, Guru is saying, Iti Uktaha Shiksha Dhyaya. He said, Siksham Vyakyasyama. Then he said 3 sentences. Then he said, Iti Ukta. Iti Ukta means it is being spoken to you, given to you. Shiksha Adhyaya. Ho gaya. So this is a portion in the Veda, in the Upanishad. That means the Upanishad Rishi, before teaching the Upanishad, is only reminding that बेटा मैं तुमको शिक्षा पढ़ा रहा हूँ, पढ़ा चुका हूँ, तुम पढ़ चुके हो पिछले कुछ सालों से. उसका आप अभी उपयोग हो रहा है in communicating Brahma Vidya to you. Is only reminder. That means in the earlier 6 chapters of this Taittiriya Aranyaka, the exhaustive discussion about all the grammar must have happened. In all the so-called famous Gurukulas of Vedanta, what they teach first few years is only Bhasha. That's what I was telling you yesterday before. Browse through the internet, YouTube, select the easily understandable teachings of Sanskrit and spend at least 3 to 4 months to get at least the basics of Sanskrit. What are those things? We'll see anyway now. Have an interest. Otherwise, the main thing what we said yesterday, if you remember, is what is given in the original Bhasha. Not even a little of that also can be given in any other translation, even if the translator is greater than greatest. Like what to write in Punjabi or say cannot be translated so beautifully in any language, even though other languages are very rich, even if it is Sanskrit. Sanskrit is greater language, but what is said in Punjabi cannot be said in Sanskrit. उसका अपना मजा आनंद अलग ही है. And nobody, no other language can fully justify it also. It understood? Like English can never justify Sanskrit, but what is spoken in English cannot be done in other languages. उसका फिर अपना अलग बात. Every language has its own rules, regulations, beauty, utility. We have to respect all. In the same way, our bhasha is Sanskrit, Sanatana Dharma, and all our Shastras are in Sanskrit. Remember, simple equation I tell you. One Sanskrit bhasha is not studied. We are denied of understanding all our Shastras. Now, conversely, one Sanskrit bhasha, if you learn, you are giving yourself opportunity to study, understand all our Shastra. See, that's just like what is said in Dukrum Karane. Except Bhajagoindam, oh my dear friend, you did everything in life, you are Mudhamati. That's what the meaning of that Bhajagoindam first sloka. In the same way, in life exactly, except the Mukti giving Brahma Vidya, just like we did everything else, in the same way, throughout life, except learning Sanskrit, we tried to learn everything. Now you understand how we were either we can call misguided or not fully correctly helped. I'm talking about you and me who are almost such an aged now, but as regards the Sanskrit Bhasha is concerned, we have not helped ourselves. And we are depending on different languages for translation. Such a pathetic thing it is that I speak in English on Upanishad is an insult to myself and also my Shastras. अहम संस्कृतेन एव संभाषणम कर्तुम युक्तम मया. सिर्फ संस्कृत में मुझे बोलना है, आपको भी उसी में सुनना है. ऐसा जिंद ऐसा आगे आ जाए ना दिन जब पूरा विश्व ही सब संस्कृत में ही कर रहा है. Sanskrit's beauty again is thousands and thousands of talks you can listen about the glory of Sanskrit. And all those talks are in English and other language, not in Sanskrit, because we don't understand. But there are some Mahatmas who insist on Sanskrit only. And many organizations are promoting it. You can go on for them. Sanskrit Bharati and so many are there. आप थोड़ा जरूर हर दिन थोड़ा सा व्याकरण जरूर हर दिन पढ़ना है ताकि उसमें पकड़ आता रहे. देन व्हाट हैपेंस, द ग्लोरियस देवा संस्कृत भाषा में दिया हुआ इन दी शास्त्रास मेन ब्यूटिफुल एसेंस starts directly coming to us, appealing to us. Even if it is Swami Vivekananda or Pujya Gurudev or Bhagwan Shankara gave the Bhashya, which is unparalleled, yet it is one step and one notch lesser than original. It may be Shankara Bhashya, but it is not as great as the direct mantras. There's no doubt about it. Therefore, the bhasha learning. Siksham vyakyasyamaha iti uktah shiksha dhyayaha. Then what are those 3 sentences and 6 words which comprise the entire learning of the bhasha with its script as well as ucharanam? Are these 6. What are they? Varnaswaraha matra balam samasantanaha. These 6 aspects include entire learning mastery of the bhasha, the language. So varnaha, swaraha, matra, balam, samaha, santana. Iti uktaha shiksha dhyaya. Now, what are each of them? In 2 to 3 words or sentences, Bhashyakara will explain us. Then, while understanding them, as we were saying from last 10-15 minutes, we try to understand the importance, therefore need and necessity of Sanskrita Bhasha. then put some effort to learn it, then feel that we have learned, then we can see the study of Upanishad as different flavor. Like some of you are absolutely less in knowledge of Sanskrit when you study Gita Adi, or even text like Bhajagovindam. Look for translation in Hindi, English, and other. But imagine if you have really learned that bhasha, and those who have learned Sanskrit little, and those who are now studying and grasping the essence directly. उनका डेप्थ अलग होता है, उनका आनंद अलग, उनका मजा अलग होता है. Yeah. Now the Bhashyakara's Upodghata we saw yesterday, Avatarikam, Artha Jnana Pradhanatvat Upanishadaha. This is one sentence. Upanishadaha Artha Jnana Pradhanatva. Upanishad is mainly to give the Jnanam, which is the Chaturtha Purushartha. Artha is Purushartha. Purushartha is Moksha Purushartha. And Moksha Purushartha के बारे में ज्ञान देना ही प्रधान मुख्य पर्पस है उपनिषद का. Yet, or because of this type of feeling in us, that moksha is the thing which is given by the Upanishad. Keeping that in mind, though which is a truth, there is a chance of some misunderstanding in the Vidyarthi students. What is that? Grantha pate yatna uparamaha. That they may devalue the study of the text, effort on the text. सो ग्रंथ पाठे यत्न उपरमः मा भूत, नहीं होना चाहिए वो. Why it happens? Because we are conditioned halfway in our mind that Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, and somehow I can get that Brahma Vidya Upanishad, get Mukti. Arey bhaiya, all that is in the Grantha, no? No, if you can't do the Patha of the Grantha, how can the Guru teach you? How can you learn from him? So many people, as I explained yesterday exhaustively, hundreds of thousands of Indians are so busy in Grantha Patha, Parayan. हम गुरुद्वारा में जाकर देखो, वो छोटे छोटे गुफा में बैठकर पाठ करते ही रहते ग्रंथी लोग. In every of the houses in South India, every day they are doing Grantha Patha of Vishnu Sahasranamas, of Lalita Sahasranamas, so many, not even understanding even little of it. You understand that problem there with them? They get so much satisfied only in the chanting of those textbooks, whether they may be stotras, they may be any of the grantha. अरे यार इसमें लिखा क्या है देखो. देखो आजकल थोड़ा सनातन धर्म को कॉपी करते हुए ही even other religions, including the Sikh, they started giving sermons, lectures on their texts. सिर्फ पाठ करो, उसका अंदर का ज्ञान अगर समझ में नहीं आया, एंड इन दैट ज्ञान द पर्पस इज परमात्मा प्राप्ति, एंड दैट इज अचीव्ड थ्रू दिस साधनास. इफ दीज थिंग्स आर नॉट ग्रास्प्ड, विल द पाठ हेल्प एनीवन? Is it not? In the same way, I want to get the mukti, but I am not studying the Patha, not learning the language which helps me in studying the Patha, that also is incomplete. So, Grantha Pate Yatna Uparamaha Ma Bhutu. May there not be the withdrawal from the effort of doing the Patha of the Grantha, Parayanam. Because if you don't study the original text in its language, how can I communicate to you the meaning hidden in them so that you understand what is the goal and means? That's why in all Gurukula, पहले साल तो कुछ संस्कृत सिखाकर ग्रंथ पाठ ही कराते. Thereafter only the meaning start getting told. And those who never give value importance to the bhasha as well as grantha patha in those initial days or years, later on when they are taught the meaning of it, they will never be able to catch it. Because the basics they did not prepare in. Like the children, those who neglect the English language of all its grammar, pronunciation, everything, later on when they are taught the prose or poetry, they are blank. But those children who have worked hard, struggled and mastered the basics of the language along with grammar, उसके बाद वो लोग तो खेलते हैं वो भाषा से. They enjoy the literature given in that language. They themselves become the composers. Understand the importance of language. We are speaking language, there's no doubt. But we are talking about the proper, systematic, thorough language in which the script as well as its pronunciation are given importance. Bhasha, Likita Bhasha and its Ucharana. Dono. Every aspect of the script has to be learnt, every aspect of the Ucharana. Therefore, here, ki Vidya, Artha, Jnana, प्रधानत्वाद उपनिषदः ग्रंथपाठे यत्नोपरममाभूत्. May the youngsters may not neglect the part of the grantha for which the base is Sanskrit. Therefore, iti Shiksha-adhyaya arabhyate. That is why the Shiksha-adhyaya is taken up in any Gurukula first. Matlab, what you can imagine is, a person of 20 years went to Gurukula, directly said to Guru, "Hey Guru Maharaj, give me Brahma Vidya." How can I give you Brahma Vidya? It is in the Upanishads. Clear? Then Upanishads have to teach you. For that, you should have the entire language knowledge of it. Therefore, join the grammar class and then I teach. No, I'm already 20 years. I cannot study like the children of 8, 9 years. Then you will never understand Upanishad Brahma Vidya. Your desire will not be fulfilled. Therefore, 20 हो 30 हो पहले जाकर वहाँ पढ़ो. See, let us say you are age of 60. Suddenly you got an idea of learning some South Indian language. Even if age is 60, you have to start from alphabets only of that language or not. Because we know nothing. You have to start from beginning only. Age doesn't matter. If you have to learn, you have to start from beginning only. So is it clear? It is Upanishad is giving Brahma Vidya. Therefore, I'll get Brahma Vidya directly. I have nothing to do with the language. Aisa mat sochna. That is the point. Having given this Sambandha Bhashya, now Bhagavan Adi Shankara is giving us the Bhashya to every of the second Anuvaka. Shiksham Vyakyas. Yesterday we saw the first portion of it. What is Shiksham? Shiksha means Shikshate Anaya iti. That by which the training is given is called Shiksha. Training for what is given? Varnadi Ucharana Lakshanam. Therefore, what Shiksha is promised in the second Anuvaka first line? What training? Shiksha means training. But by this, the training of this is given. Of what the training is given? Varna Adi Ucharana Lakshanam. So, Varna Adi is one portion. Second is Uchara Lakshana. Is second portion. So, one is Varna Adi means what? All the alphabets right from beginning. Varna means all of that. Varna means all the alphabets, in which we have the two portions, which is called as the vowel, second the consonant, which we will see little later. Along with Varna means letters or alphabets. Adi means what? All the structure of all those letters, which are going to form as the words, the sentences, big paragraphs, etc. That's called as Adi. पहले वो सीखना. सेकंड इज व्हाट? सेम वर्णों का और उन्हीं वर्णों से बने हुए शब्द इत्यादियों का उच्चारणम. That's what I said. The script, that's called Varnadi. Then the pronunciation, Ucharanadi. Shiksha, that is what I am going to tell you. So Shiksha means Shikshate Anaya. So this training is given to you. That is a Shiksha. Of what? Varnadi Uchara Lakshanam. हो गया? वर्णादि उच्चारण लक्षणम. वन मीनिंग. सेकंड, शिक्षन्ते इति वा शिक्षाः वर्णदयः. वर्णादयः. सो शिक्षन्ते इति वा शिक्षाः वर्णादयः. So straight away the direct meaning is what? कि varnas are taught to you. शिक्षन्ते किम वर्णादयः. Earlier, Siksha itself is defined as a Ucharanam as well as the writing aspect of it. All the three things. The writing aspect of it, the pronunciation aspect of it, then the utilization of aspect of it, all the three called Shiksha. So, Shikshante iti va Shiksha Varnadayaha. So, the Varna Adi, unless they are trained by the Guru, unless we learn from them, we cannot learn them. Therefore, the training given by the Guru, training received by the disciple. So, what is the common word? The training. Therefore, the training in Sanskrit is called as Shiksha. गुरु शिक्षण दे रहे हैं वर्णों का उच्चारण का लिखने का, शिष्य शिक्षण ले रहे हैं वर्णों का उच्चारण और लिखने का, इसलिए शिक्षा अध्याय का नाम बना. Why is called as शिक्षा? Because शिक्षण is given. Okay, because unless शिक्षण is given, one will not learn. And of what Shikshana is given? Varnadi. And in that, how many aspects? Two. What are they? One is script aspect, in which the writing is important. Second is the pronunciation aspect, Ucharana. Now, while explaining to you all this, we are learning how to study Sanskrit, how to study the Bhashyam, and how clearly, beautifully the Bhashyakara writes, and his great, grand, glorious, high levelly matured intellect. All these we are learning through study of Bhashyam from last 2 years. I hope you are appreciating it. To that, if you had put your effort at home by yourself also at least few times repeating the study, then the flavor and the learning and the joy would have been different, followed by the respect toward the Bhasha, to Shankara Bhagavan, to the Rishi Parampara, that would have been different. At least there I durustai, at least now onwards, to this Taittiriya Upanishad, please study the Bhashya and try to understand originally from the Bhashya. In the beginning, take the help of translation, no problem, but don't depend on translation. Directly depend on the original. That is why whether we are believing it or not, I don't know. In all our 6 classes, we take Sanskrit only, all the texts are in, and every class we are chanting it and we are explaining. ये बड़ा जो सेवा कंट्रीब्यूशन हो रहा है, आप उसको पहचान रहे हो कि नहीं पता मुझे. हो गया. नाउ व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ ताम शिक्षाम व्याख्यास्यामः. शिक्षा is told, training is given. Okay, now व्याख्यास्यामः means what? विस्पष्टम आसमन्तात् कथयिष्यामः. So व्याख्यास्यामः, he has got 3 words, vi plus a plus kyasyamah. V means vispashtam, A means asamantat, Kyasyamah means katayishyamah. Vispashtam means clearly, completely, exhaustively, undoubted. That's called vispashtam. Okay, V means vispashtam. Vispashtam means clearly, completely, unambiguously, undoubtedly. A means what? Asamantat means what? By all means and directions, etc. Samanta means from all directions. So स्पष्ट रूप से, हर तरह से हम आपको बताएंगे. So in that, all our attitudes, all of the trainings that are given, all of them are taken into account and given care. क्या श्यामा में कथयिष्यामः. तो स्पष्ट रूप से V means, then समग्र रूप से A means, Samantat means by all ways and means we are teaching you. Shiksham vyakyasyamah. So we spashtam Samantat katayishyamah. Then Akyasyamaha is the main original mantra. One of the disciple might be very intelligent in the class. He might have asked Shankara Bhagavan, Sir, can you grammatically explain to me how this Akyasyamaha sentence has come? He is testing Bhagavan Adi Shankara's grammar. Because you are going to teach us grammar. Do you know it or not? In the same way, Bhagavan himself is proving, I know the grammar, beta, uska aisa hota hai. These are all, this Taittiriya Upanishad is such one. Whatever the promises are made, same things are being fulfilled in the subsequent portions. Very interesting if you study like that. Like Rutam Vachi, Satvam Vachmi, ये सब आगे हमको फिर से proof में मिलेंगे. So it's only explanation of the grammar by which This word is derived, the Vyakyasyamaha. What it says, ki Changshinaha Kyan Dishtasya Vyang Purvasya Vyakta Vak Karmanaha Etat Rupam. Even I don't understand all that. Yesterday we tried to tell you a little bit, ki there is a root. Chakshi is the root. And that root, 99% of roots are exactly used when they are used in the words. Some roots are there. So root means basic padas. Some roots are there which will have different expression of utilization. That utilization is very specific. That's why that Guru calls it as Adesha. So the Dhatu and Adesha. The few, like Stha is the Dhatu, Tishta is the Adesha. So Tishta can be used for the using in the word, Tishta Tishta. So to Drusha is a Dhatu, Pashya is the Adesha. Here also, Kyang is a Dhatu, Ang is the Changshi is the Dhatu, Kya is the Adesha. Therefore, from that Kya Adesha, which is having the base of Changshi as the Dhatu, this word is derived with V and as Upasarga. So V Upasarga, Upasarga means prefix. Prefixes are added in Sanskrit to give some extra added meaning or specific meaning or stressing, etc. Upasarga. They may be sometimes the one letter, two lettered, three letters. Like Gachati, Anugachati. Sometimes the Upasargas added give opposite meaning. Gata, Vigata, like that, That is how it is made easy in Sanskrit Bhasha by these all grammatical rules. अब my grammar start ही कर दिया संस्कृत. So V उपसर्गा A उपसर्गा Changshi Dhatus Adesha called as Kya made Vyakya, and it is future tense and we are doing it for you Gurus, therefore Syamaha Vyakya Syamaha. This is how this rupam of this word has come. So we are explaining to exhaustively Vispashta Rupena with all minutest of the details also. What? Siksha. And what is that Siksha? Varnadinam Ucharana Lakshanam. Okay, Varnadi Ucharana Lakshanam. Now, the 6 words which are making those 3 sentences, which we said comprises entire bhasha to be learnt, Bhagavan Adi Shankara is explaining. One by one we'll see. First, Tatra. First one is one, Varnaha. See the main mantra. Varnaha, Swaraha, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santanaha. If Ram is okay, I am teaching you Siksha. Then he said all these 6. He said, Iti Uktaha, अरे भाई हो चुका है. शिक्षा अध्याय is over. Now each of them Bhagavan explains. First is what? Varnaha. Therefore Tatra Varnaha Akaradi. The Varnas are Akaradi. So then you have to use your intellection and little bit pause and try to exhaustively understand that in the Varnamala. We are now focusing only on the Sanskrit. Almost many of the Indian languages are based on that. Like in English, which is known to us, there is a Varnamala. In that also, there are 2 portions. The vowels A, E, I, O, U and also the consonants, the remaining 21 letters. In the same way, the Sanskrita Varnamala also. Varnas, they are called as. There are 2 portions of the vowels and consonants. Technically, they are called as Swara and Vyanjana. There are around 11 Swaras and 40 Vyanjana. 51 are the total Varnas. And they are divided into different groups in Sanskrit. And therefore, study of all these aspects is called as first word Varnaha. Okay? So what are the vowels or the swaras, which are the basic things which have come from Paramatma? From these swaras only the consonants, later Vyanjanas came. From these swaras only in the Srishti, whatever they are there called Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya, Pancha Mahabhuta, Pancha Tanmatra, Antakarana, all of them have come from these swaras which have come from Paramatma. There is a Swara Shastra is there. Nada Shastra it is called. How? From Paramatma's Nada, these Pancha Mukhya Aksharas, from their secondary Mukhya Aksharas, from those 11 of them, entire Swara, Vyanjanas, from there, the entire gross world manifested. That all is given. Ab wo book kahan dhunde aur kahan padhe, which is not possible in next 10 lives. But there are such great sublime Shastras in our Sanatana Dharma. So the Swara, in the school, as we said yesterday, today, these are all taught right from beginning. The writing aspect of it as well as chanting aspect of it. So what are those letters? A, E, U, A, I, O, Au, Aha. Those starting from ending with visarga, they are called as swaras, vowels. Now each of them have to be learnt in writing as well as pronunciation in Sanskrit. Not the confusion of writing Sanskrit in English. That is all the pathetic condition of nation India, where the Sanskrit is so devalued and disrespected right from the government onwards. We have to accept it. संस्कृत को तेलुगु में लिखना, संस्कृत में इंग्लिश में लिखना, संस्कृत को मराठी, वाट पागलपन है वो। संस्कृत को संस्कृत में ही लिखना है पहले। हाउ द इज रिटन, आ इज रिटन, ई इज रिटन, एंड दिस इज द दैवी भाषा. इट इज अ वैदिक भाषा. You cannot edit it, you need not change or improve it, you have to learn it, that's all. Then comes after these swaras, 10 or 11 or 12, in language like Telugu, they add some also, cruel, ru, they make it little bore. पूरे विश्व में सबसे ज़्यादा लेटर्स तेलुगु में ही है, 56 vowels total, 56 alphabets, including vowels and consonants. Sanskrit has 51 or 52, they say. Okay. Then the Vyanjanas. In the Vyanjanas also, again there are varga. Is it not? Dikka, varga, Vyanjana. Vyanjana is consonants in English. I also have not studied English much. अगर गलत बोल दिया तो आप करेक्ट कर लेना. So the vowels are the swara, the consonants are the Vyanjana. So in the consonant, the Vyanjanas, the ka, varga, the group of ka, there is the 5 of them, ka, kha, ga, ga, nga. Then the cha varga, cha, cha, ja, ja, na. Then next ta varga, ta, tha, da, dha, na. Ta varga, ta, tha, da, dha, na. Then pa varga, pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Pa, pha, ba, bha, ma. Then all these last 5, kaka, gagana, cha, cha, jana, ta, ta, they are called nasals again. They are called anunasikas. Then each of them are named ka varga. Exactly, I don't remember the language, English or in Sanskrit. तो उतना हमने नहीं पढ़ा. तो का वर्ग is called kanthyaha. Then cha varga is called as the labials. So kantyaha, dantyaha, talavyaha, ostavyaha. So you have the labials, the palatals, the dentals, and you have the English language. These are the 5 groups. So I have to learn and teach, then only I can say that I have done justice. But these are the 5 vargas, have the 5 names. Then the 4 letters called as ya, ra, la, va. They are called as ushmas. Then sheshasa. Then there are anthastas. Then ha called as mahaprana. So the ushma, the antasta, the mahaprana, the vyanjana, the swara, the anunasikas, the visarga, and with their groups. And exactly they are first script written, learnt, then the entire chanting also. Such a beautiful is this language. It may take some months to learn, but the joy of that learning, because after that we are going to study original Sanskrit and are able to understand directly. आपको कुछ भी दे वो मिलेगा ना ऐसा आनंद. Therefore, first is tatra varnaha akaradi. Only this much Bhagwan Shankara said. In the Upanishad तो वर्णः उन्होंने तत्र वर्ण अकारादि नहीं, सिर्फ वर्ण कह दिया. Shankara Bhagavan, he knows all the disciples are master of all that. Veda, Varna, Katla, Vakaradi. Do you understand what I said? Yes, sir. What you taught us in those 6-8 months, the say lekar, everything. And in that, as I said, first the aksharas are taught, then the entire pada, the construction of pada, then the vakya, then all the different vyakaranam used. What is the vyakaranam? विशेषण आकरणम मीन्स एक चीज को अलग अलग चीजें ऐड करके इतना एक्सपेंड करें कि it is used in so many places. So in the vyakarana, what are the main things come? First, the linga will come, Sri Pum and Napumsaka linga. Then the vachana come, the ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana. Then also the purushas come, the first person, Prathama Purusha, Uttama Purusha, then the second person, Madhyama Purusha, and third person, the Prathama. In some language, only first and second person are there. In Sanskrit, all three. So first person, second person, third person, singular, dual and plural, masculine, feminine and neuter genders. These are all including the language. You can't use anything for anybody. You can't use she for he for she. You must know what is she, what is he. My son, I tell you, she is very intelligent. It is a confusing thing. You have to say he only there. Is it not? Then the kala, the three kalas, the bhuta kala, bhavishyat kala, vartamana kala. In the three kala, the language, the word changes. Dekho, going. No, going is present. Gone in the past will go. जा रहा हूं, जा गया था, जाऊंगा. जा इज मेन, बट रहा हूं, गया था, ऊंगा अलग होगा कि नहीं, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द टाइमिंग्स. दिस इज हाउ द भाषा. In Sanskrit also, Varna means all these things. And the most important of all that is the 7 cases plus the 8th one. The vibhaktis they are called. Pratama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, the nominative, the accusative, the instrumental, the dative, the ablative. I think something I am right in English. And in the different languages, हम तो बचपन में तेलुगु में डू मूलो प्रथमा विभक्ति निन्नुलन गुर्ची गुरिंची द्वितीया विभक्ति चेतन चेन तोड़ंतोन तृतीया विभक्ति कोरकु कई पंचमी विभक्ति चतुर्थी विभक्ति वलना कंटेन पट्टी पंचमी विभक्ति देन किन యొక్క లోన్ లోపనన్ షష్ఠి విభక్తి లోన్ అన్నుందన్ సప్తమి విభక్తి ఓ ఓయి ఓరి ఓసి ओसई ఇది संबोधन विभक्ति अष्टमा. हमको इतने करवाते थे बचपन. That language learned in Telugu helped in Sanskrit, though we did not study Sanskrit because they are so close. So cases must be known, no? When the dative case is spoken, that it is to someone. So Ramaya dadami. That is the 5th. To Rama I am giving. So Ramat prapnomi. From the Rama I am getting. It is the 5th case. Ramena Ravana hataha. By Rama, Ravana is killed. Is the 3rd case. Instrumental. Ramam aham avahayami. It is second case. I am inviting him. Ramaha aham asmi. I am Rama is the nominative. So the 7 cases. Is it not? That also is a bhasha. After that comes again the samyukta aksharas, the jodakshars, conjunct consonants, and then sandhis to make the language faster, quicker, and easier. Is it not? The samasas will come, then the alankaras will come, then the chandas will come. All of that put together is such a richness of language, having learned which you can play in learning the knowledge, giving the knowledge, expressing the joy, explaining the experiences, guidance. Uska anandi hai. All that is called varna. Akaradi. Entire bhasha. कोशिश करना है हमको सीखना जरूर. मातृभाषा, संस्कृत भाषा, राष्ट्रभाषा. Mean these three must be learnt in India. Spend some time, teach your children. English anyway, they are वो पूरा दुनिया ही ये वाला हो गया. See, दुनिया इज भौतिकवाद. भौतिकवाद वाली भाषा इंग्लिश है. बट मुक्ति तो ज्ञान से मिलेगा. ज्ञान शास्त्र में that is in Sanskrit only. Okay? So first word we explained. Tatra varnaha akaradi. All the vowels, the consonants, then all the groups in the consonants, and different things. Varnamala. Almost we pronounced all of them. A, I, U, E, I, O, Ah, Ka, Ga, Gana, Cha, Ja, Jana, Ta, Da, Dana, Ta, Da, Dana, Pa, Va, Bhama, Ya, La, Va, Shu, Shi, Sha, Sa, Ha. That's it. Kshatrajnad, again conjunct consonants. These are how the Varna become Swara and Vyanjana Yukta. This is called as Tatra Varna Akaradi. Then every one of them, how to write them, पक्का होना चाहिए हो. जैसा है वैसा तोड़ फोड़ नहीं करना, वो सीखना है हमको. द राइटिंग एस्पेक्ट ऑफ ऑल द वर्णास. तो हमको तो बचपन में अभी भी है, होमवर्क बुक में अ लिखते हैं और नीचे पूरा वो पेज पूरा आ से भरना है. Then a, then e and e, all of that. Then while writing only the pronunciation. तभी दोनों साथ में सीखना. And when you teach a only, don't say chota bada like in North India हिंदी से छोटी आ बड़ा आ छोटा ई बड़ा ई ऐसे नहीं होना है. छोटा बड़ा क्या है उसको प्रोनाउंस करो ना. आ इज आ, इट्स नॉट छोटा आ. देन बड़ा आ, बड़ा क्या है, बड़ा आ कहता है लेकिन आ नहीं बुलवाते हो. बच्चे ऐसे सीख लेते. छोटी माँ बड़ी माँ, छोटी दीदी बड़ी दीदी ना, अक्षर अक्षर ही है. नाउ कम द सेकंड वन. वर्ण हो गया स्वर. स्वर ಇದು ಉದಾತ್ತ आदि. Okay, the four are the swaras in which the Sanskrit Bhasha aksharas are chanted. Depending on the requirement of those swaras in different contexts, as they are revealed to the rishis when they are on the seat of meditation, and as it is they passed it on to. The four varas are called as the sama, first one the balance wala, then the anudakta, where we go down in our pitch while chanting that particular letter. If that swara of anudatta is there below that, the horizontal line, then the udatta, when the vertical line is up above that particular letter, then the pluta, when the two lines are there. So the samaswara, the anudakta swara, the udakta swara, the pluta swara. Then the pluta, when it is further extended, which is so much used mainly in the Samaveda, it becomes swarita. And all of them have to be mastered along with the letters and words of the Bhasha. It is only in Sanskrit it is there. No other language has these type of matras. संस्कृत में ही है. So that is what when we are chanting every day, you might be confused seeing स्वामी जी क्या है, ये ऊपर नीचे जा रहे हो तो वो कहाँ है, वो दिख ही नहीं रहा. But if you have the properly printed books with you of Ramakrishna Mission anywhere, you can see the marking of all swara. Accordingly only we try to chant. That also again grace of God and lot of practice for many years right from the beginning. Then and practices with the perfect way. If an imperfect way practiced, then the imperfect practice only goes with us, which you can't change later on. जिन्होंने इस तरह से बचपन से शुरुआत से ही पूरे स्वर के साथ, मतलब दिस स्वरास, नॉट द स्वरा व्यंजन वो वाला भी, स्वर के साथ जो सीखा है, हिज चैंटिंग इज डिफरेंट. एंड यू कैन सी द इंडियंस, द मेनली द दक्षिण भारती, मेनली द Tamilians. They, though don't love the Sanskrit, they say their language is more older than. But when it comes to the Ucharana aspect, and in their language, the dha, cha, tha, they are not there. All are same. Ta, 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 ta. Still, when they learn Sanskrit, the best of the chanters are they. They give full value importance to the swara. That's why in all competitions, they become the winners most of the time. Then come the Karnataka people, then the Telugu. That's how this. Malayali, okay. I'm just saying, swara ka jo importance hai. So what are the five swaras? The samaswara, the anudatta swara, the udatta swara, the pluta, and the swarita. Like if you see the mantra Shanno Mitra only, we can see all the five of them if you have the book. All the five will not be there. The Swarita will not be there. Swarita you have seen day before when I was chanting that. He like that. It's only beginning. इतना होता है सामवेद में तो बिना रुके 3 मिनट तक वो स्वर चलता ही रहता है. There also Rathantara Samaganam, Bruhat Samaganam, they're all. In Gita Bhagwan says also, in Bhagavat also it came. In the Samaveda, I am Rathantara Samaganam. Bruhat Sama Tatha Samnam. I am the Bruhat Samaveda in the Sama. That is, Bruhat is the Swara Yukta Chandas it is. Chandas is meter. In that meter, the swaras are there. See now, Sham no Mitra Sham Varunaha. You see, no ke upar there is a vertical line. Then mi ke niche ek horizontal line. When the vertical line is there, we do the swara up above and niche hai to niche. But maintain the balance wala first. So in the Sha, there is no swara. So Sham becomes basis. Then no, you go up. Mi, you come down. So Sham no Mitraha. It is like Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunaha. See how much concentration develops if one is chanting along with the swara. You can't afford to put mind here and there. And every of these letters of Sanskrit as well as the swara have tremendous influence in entire our prana shakti, physiological functions as well as antakkar. So, I mean, somebody chants Vedanta, Veda mantras for 10 years, still is remaining the same. That much bad, that fellow. That is the meaning. Not that these paras have no effect. In the same way, Avatu Vaktaram Ram, that is called Plutaswar. So, ordinary, Anudakta, Udakta, Pluta, all these are taught. Swarita was for us in one of the mantra Vaisa. Purvan deve bhubhyo amrutasya na bhayi yoma dadati saideva ma vaha. These are all the Swarita Swara. Samagana Jinonasika traditionally, from them you can see. So, we have seen two things. What is a Varnaha, the Aksharamala, Swaraha, these are Pancha, and maybe some more are there. I'm not a master of Sanskrit. Swaraha, Dohove. Now the third one is what? Matraha. What is Matraha? Hraswadhyaha. This is the most important thing in any of the bhasha. The matras, whatever are there, they also have to be respected. In that, the Hrasva Matra and the Dirgha Matra, as well as there is, once the grammar sets in, the Aksharas pronunciation keeps on changing to pronounce which we use our tongue and its movement. This Matra also is important. Mainly the Hrasva, Dirgha, and third is Samyukta. Clear? The ह्रस्व छोटा, दीर्घ बड़ा, संयुक्त जोड़ा. अब जोड़ा को थोड़ा, थोड़ा को जोड़ा, छोटा को बड़ा, बड़ा को छोटा करने से हाउ मेनी अनर्थास विल कम इन भाषा, tomorrow we will see. Therefore, the importance of giving the chanting the letters with the matra as it is, which we'll see tomorrow, and also the matra, then what is bala, what is sama, what is santana, all that as Bhagavan explains, we try to see, and then therefore samapa. Therefore, any language, especially Sanskrita bhasha, when these 6 things are mastered, then we become qualified for the further learning from the Guru of the Upanishad. Because the Guru will teach the mantra, he will do the Vyakhyanam, he will give the example, he will tell you the stories. All of them are in the bhasha only. So you have to have the bhasha. And what I said as varna, one aspect. Second is one thing which we have missed very much. That is the dhatus and the vocabulary. Is it not? In that again grammar, the antonyms and synonyms, what you call. इतना सारा मिलकर वो वर्ण होता है. मात्रा मीन मात्रा, लाइक इन द नॉर्थ इंडिया, आई बताकर मैं भूल गया हूँ, बाहर के आ गया हूँ. व्हेन आई टेल देम रामायणम, सो रा इज मात्रा दीर्घ है, वो ह्रस्व नहीं. दे नेवर से रामायणम, दे से रामायणम. The total different meaning between these two देखो. रामा अयनम मीन्स राम जी का कहानी. रमा मीन्स द कहानी of a women. Rama is women in the Sanskrit Bhasha. Ramayana means a story about a woman. Ramayana means a story of Lord Rama. अब रामायण को रामायण करो, see the difference in the meaning. Okay, like the Shankara. If the Shankara is not properly pronounced, in the Shankara you say Sankara. The difference is Shankara Bhagavan है, Shankara is cross breeding. अब देखो the amount of change of meaning just because of little change in the chanting of the that aksharas, मात्राएं. Like that, so many mistakes we keep on doing every day in every language because of ignorance of all these things. So, in our great Upanishad here, Taittiriya alone, we see the due importance given to this Bhasha in all its aspects. That's what we have to recognize and respect this Upanishad. So, Varna and Swara, Matra, Balam, Sama, Santana, what are they in our Sanskrit Bhasha? Tomorrow we will see. Then he starts Samhita Upanishad. अतात सगम उपनिषदम अतात sagam hitaya upanishadam vyakyasyamaha. And once we enter into that portion, slowly the Shastra Jnana, Tattva Jnana starts. Before that, in these 2-3 Anuvaka, pehle Anuvaka was Shanti Mantra, second Anuvaka is about the Bhasha, third Anuvaka, fourth will be for the Upasanas, then slowly the Brahma Vidya will start. Let us enjoy it as the Bhagavan Guru is giving us. Thank you. Chant once the second Anuvakam. शिक्षां व्याख्यास्यामः वर्णस्वरः मात्राबलं सामसन्तानः इत्युक्तः शिक्षाध्यायः. And all of them was no literature, script came later on. Earlier though Maukika used to be taught by Guru, Shishyas will listen and they remember Pakka. Later on the Talapatra, all of them came. Earlier, not even writing, only vocal. Maukikam only. That was the dharana shakti of the disciples. They used to catch pakka what Guru used to say. Everything. Whether vocabulary, whether you call language, sab mukh se hota tha. Not like today, everything computer, laptop, all the downloads, uploads. Nothing. That is why we are becoming more and more dependent on these dead gadgets. Thus, all our faculties are losing their capacity to such an extent that we are becoming as jada inert like them. That 2 into 3 how much? Wait karo. Calculator nikal ke bata. Those days, they were depending only their own Chaitanya and memory. Therefore, they used to be highly always in that meditative mood of Sataguna. Not like today. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasa Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Paramarushibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shrutimatre Namaha Manduka Maharshi Namaha Om Yajnavalka Maharshi Namaha वेदव्यास सद्गुरवे नमः वैशंपायन सद्गुरवे नमो नमः. ओम 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 Om, 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 Om. Thank you, friends. 10 minutes, let us study our Vidura Niti. I am also studying